Hello, my name's Emma and I'm a Field Application Scientist at Advanced Instruments. Today I'm going to be walking you through droplet calibration for VIPS Pro single cell seeding. We will cover the standard operating procedure for 96 well seeding in addition to troubleshooting to ensure that you have a comprehensive understanding of droplet calibration ready for your next cloning project. Let's start by recapping VIPS Pro's method for single cell seeding and defining what droplet calibration is and why it is important. During VIPS Pro single cell seeding, 20 nanoliter droplets of cell suspension are dispensed into the well. The area surrounding where the droplets are dispensed are then imaged by a camera which is situated underneath the plate bed. Finally, the images are interrogated using artificial intelligence to determine whether a single cell is present or not. As it is only the area surrounding the locations where droplets are dispensed which is imaged during seeding, it is important that droplet calibration is accurately completed so that the droplets dispensed are within the camera's field of view. If droplets deviate outside of this, then there is risk that additional cells will be dispensed into the well, reducing the single cell seeding efficiency per plate. Let's take a closer look at what droplet calibration looks like. Here you can see a droplet image captured during VIPS Pro single cell seeding. The droplet is neat with all parts of it falling within the camera's field of view. This means that any cells which are present in the droplet will be detected by VIPS Pro. In these images, by contrast, you can see that there are parts of the droplet which fall outside of the field of view, meaning there are potentially cells which have not been accounted for present in the wells. During droplet calibration, our objective is to ensure that droplets are neat and within VIPS Pro's field of view so that we can achieve an accurate and optimal single cell seeding efficiency. Droplet calibration must be completed at the start of a new seeding run and any time after removing and reloading the cell reservoir onto the VIPS Pro seeding head. For example, you are planning to seed 10 plates but want to make an adjustment to the cell suspension after plate 5. In this scenario, you would need to calibrate your droplets before seeding plate 1 and before plate 6, once the cell reservoir has been reattached to the VIPS Pro seeding head. There would be no need to perform droplet calibration between plates 2 and 3 or 6 and 7, for example. To begin droplet calibration, remove the VIPS Pro's cell reservoir and tubing from the seeding kit. The cell reservoir comes ready assembled with a magnetic stirrer fitted and seeding nozzle attached. Check that the seeding nozzle is securely attached to the cell reservoir by gently twisting clockwise, holding the grey ceramic thread. If the nozzle appears to be loose, gently twist clockwise until securely attached. Once complete, remove the tubing from the cell reservoir cap and rest the cell reservoir in the accessory tray holder, ready to load the cell suspension. Once the cell suspension has been loaded, attach the cell reservoir tubing to the cell reservoir cap and attach the cell reservoir to the VIPS Pro seeding head. Load an empty 96 well plate into the plate bed and remove the plate lid. We are now ready to begin the process of droplet calibration. Let's start by recapping 96 well plate seeding on VIPS Pro. During 96 well seeding with VIPS Pro, there is the possibility to dispense a total of 16 droplets per well over the course of 4 different locations. Seeding starts in location 1 with the dispense of the first droplet. If a cell is detected within the first droplet, the well will be filled with medium and VIPS Pro will proceed to the next well. Should a cell not be present, however, a second, third and fourth droplet will be dispensed in location 1. After 4 attempts, if a cell has still not been dispensed, VIPS Pro will move to location 2, where it will try a further 4 times to dispense a cell into the well. This process will continue moving from locations 3 to 4 until a cell is successfully dispensed into the well. As there are 4 different locations for droplet dispensing in 96 well plates, there will be 4 droplets which we will need to assess during droplet calibration. Using the Studious software, select Calibrate Drop. Once the instrument and software have completed initialization, select Flush. This will initiate 30 microliters of cell suspension to be flushed from the cell reservoir into A1 of the 96 well plate. Once complete, this should be repeated a further 4 times to ensure that the cell reservoir and nozzle are primed ready for droplet calibration. Priming can either be completed using wells A1 to A5 or using just A1 by reselecting well A1 after each flush function. Once complete, select Dispense in either A2 if A1 was reselected in between each flush, or A6 if wells A1 to A5 have been used for priming. Once calibration is complete, you'll be presented with images 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. Images 1, 2, 3 and 4 will display the droplet images captured in each of the 4 locations, while image all will display the 4 images overlaid on top of each other. Remember, you can select Show Drop Outline if you find it difficult to see the droplets in grayscale. The 4 locations for VIPS Pro droplet dispensing are effectively in identical positions for each quadrant, so when it comes to adjusting the droplets, we can work with the superimposed image of all the droplets rather than calibrating the 4 droplets individually. Start by clicking through images 1 to 4 to check that there is a droplet present in each of the locations. The droplets are unlikely to be in the center of the field of view at this stage. We just need to start by checking that they are all present. For now, we are going to assume that a droplet is visible in some shape or form in each of the 4 locations. Do not worry if this is not the case. We are going to cover a range of different troubleshooting scenarios shortly. Once we have confirmed 4 droplets are present, we are ready to start calibrating the position of the droplets. Select the image of all to view the 4 droplets superimposed on top of each other. Here you can see that all 4 droplets are slightly off-center and are deviating outside the field of view. To resurrect this, I'm going to click the center of the 4 droplets. You will notice a target symbol will appear on the location where I have just selected. I am now going to reselect Dispense. The Studious software will inform the plate bed that it needs to move position slightly so that the location of the droplets dispensed are within the camera's field of view. As you can see from my second calibration attempt, the 4 droplets have become more central. I am going to repeat this process until the droplets are bang in the middle of the camera's field of view. Once I am happy with the position of the 4 droplets, it is time to consider whether I also need to adjust the size of the droplets before I begin single cell seeding. As mentioned earlier, VIPS Pro has up to 4 attempts per location to seed a cell into the well. This means that for each droplet I see in the 4 locations, I need to consider whether adding an additional 3 droplets on top will result in the droplet expanding outside of the camera's field of view. Here you can see an example of an optimal droplet, a small droplet, and a large droplet. Working with very small droplets will likely reduce our seeding efficiency and also make the seeding time longer for VIPS Pro. Large droplets, on the other hand, will likely result in the droplets deviating outside of the field of view, allowing potential for cells to be dispensed and unaccounted for. We need to find the sweet spot in the middle by adjusting the droplet size using the slide bar. Make sure to select Dispense each time you make an adjustment so that you can monitor the changes that you are making. Once both the droplet position and droplet size have been correctly calibrated, we are ready to begin single cell seeding. Select Apply to save the adjustments you have made during droplet calibration. The droplet calibration run, which we have just walked through, is routine procedure. There will, however, be occasions where some troubleshooting will be required. I'm now going to walk you through a couple of scenarios and explain how to overcome them. There will be occasions where you go to calibrate your droplets and find that while 3 out of 4 droplets are present, one of them is missing. Your first call of action should be to return to A1 and perform an additional 3 to 5 flush nozzles. Once this is complete, return to a well which has not yet been used during calibration and select Dispense. Hopefully, the 4 droplets are now visible and you can start adjusting the droplet position and size as previously discussed. If one of the droplets is still missing, open the lid to the VIPS Pro instrument and visually inspect the end of the cell reservoir's seeding nozzle. Check that there are no droplets of cell suspension accumulating on the end of the seeding nozzle. Should you notice a droplet on the end of the seeding nozzle, remove the cell reservoir from the VIPS Pro seeding head using the push-release button. Once the cell reservoir is outside of the VIPS Pro instrument, gently unscrew the seeding nozzle and replace it with the spare seeding nozzle provided with the kit. It is important not to do this while holding the cell reservoir over the VIPS Pro. Once complete, reattach the cell reservoir with the new seeding nozzle and return to the Studious software. Start the calibration process from scratch with 5 flush nozzles. If you cannot see any droplets in any of the 4 locations after performing your 5 flush nozzles and selecting Dispense, open the VIPS Pro lid and again visually inspect the end of the cell reservoir seeding nozzle. Should you notice a droplet on the end of the seeding nozzle, replace the seeding nozzle as previously described. Should the end of the seeding nozzle be clean, replace the 96 well plate in the plate bed with a clean purge tray. Remember, you must always eject the plate bed before switching plates. Never try to remove a plate which is situated under the VIPS Pro seeding head. Once the purge tray is loaded, return to the Studious software and select Dispense into location well D7 on the Studious plate map. Once calibration is complete, eject the plate bed and open the lid to the VIPS Pro instrument. Remove the purge tray from the plate bed and visually inspect the tray for the presence of 4 droplets in the middle of the purge tray. If 4 droplets are observed in the middle of the purge tray, then there is nothing wrong with the cell reservoir and nozzle. The droplets are simply being dispensed in the wrong location. The reset function in the Studious software can be used to quickly resolve this. Replace your 96 well plate back into the plate bed and select a well which has not yet been used. Select Reset followed by Dispense. Once complete, you should see 4 droplets as per standard operating procedure. Proceed with adjusting the position and size of the droplets. If you have completed the steps in scenario 2, but still cannot see any droplets following the reset function, the best thing to do is to select the top left-hand corner of the field of view followed by Dispense. Next, select the bottom left-hand corner of the camera's field of view followed by Dispense. Following this, select the bottom right-hand corner of the camera's field of view followed by Dispense. Repeat this procedure of clicking subsequent corners of the camera's field of view until the 4 droplets emerge. As soon as the droplets enter the camera's field of view, start calibrating the position and size of the droplets as per usual. If you find yourself in scenario 2 but observe no droplets in the middle of the purge tray following Dispense, replace the purge tray into the plate bed and perform additional 5 flush nozzles using the Studious software. Look through the window of VIPS Pro's lid to confirm that liquid is being dispensed into the purge tray when you select Flush. Once you have visualized that cell suspension is being flushed into the purge tray, reselect well D7 followed by Dispense using the Studious software. Once the calibration step is complete, Again, remove the purge tray and visually inspect for the presence of the 4 droplets. If no droplets are observed, or you did not observe any liquid being flushed into the purge tray following the flush function, replace the sealing nozzle and restart the calibration process. To tackle misshapen droplets, again, start by opening VIPS Pro's lid and visually inspecting the end of the cell reservoir sealing nozzle. Should any droplets be present on the end of the nozzle, replace using the spare sealing nozzle provided. If the sealing nozzle appears to be clean, close the lid to VIPS Pro and return to the Studio software. Reduce the drop size using the slide bar and perform an additional 3 to 5 flushes. Once complete, select Dispense again. You should notice that the droplets have become more uniform. If the problem persists, however, simply replace the sealing nozzle using the spare provided and restart the calibration process. I really hope you have found this video useful and are feeling equipped, ready for your next cloning project. The droplet preview available during single cell seeding will allow you to monitor the droplets dispensed by VIPS Pro throughout your seeding session. If you require further support with troubleshooting, please do not hesitate to reach out to your local field application scientist. Thank you for watching.